What's going on, Icon fam? BigJerr, back with you guys again. And today, we're going to be in Ableton Live 10 using Wavetable to make a pretty cool Supersaw. Let's get into it. Before we go ahead and make this sound in Wavetable, let's check out what we got going on. So I've gone ahead and frozen the tracks so we can listen to them, and then I'm going to have to turn off the camera after this because as I build the sound for you, my laptop just can't handle all of that at once. So we're going to take a listen to this, and then I'll turn off the camera and we'll get into making it. All right, let's check this out. Nice. And obviously we'll be recreating this Supersaw here in Wavetable. All right, let's get to it. So what we're going to do here is, first thing I'm going to do is open up this like this. And if I pull this up, you could see how we're able to see all the parameters at once. And this is going to make using Wavetable very easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and just make sure this is down. We'll add this in as we need it. Okay, and let's take a listen to what we got here. So I'll solo this. Right, exactly. Just a regular old sine wave. So that's a good place to start. Let's go ahead, and since it's a Supersaw, let's go ahead and add in our saw. So there we go. Perfect. And at this point, we need to make it a Supersaw, right? So that means we're going to add some unisons. Now, how do I know which one of these to pick? Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little cheat sheet. I'm going to put it up here right now. Perfect. You can go ahead and freeze frame or whatever, take a picture of that if you want. I'm going to go ahead for this particular video, use classic. Okay, let's bring it up to 5 voices. Okay, and then we'll dial in the amount together. Nice. I like the way that feels. Cool. Little pro tip. We're going to leave it on poly because that is polyphonic, right? We're going to play more than one note at a time. But this is here the pro tip right here. So it's going to be set to 8 possible voices, right? So that means that Wavetable is ready for 8 possible voices. But you know, once we start adding unisons, this and then plus the Oscillator 1, and then, you know, when we add Oscillator 2 as well, this becomes multiplicative, and you'll notice your CPU starting to spike a bit. So to keep your potential voices down, I'm going to just bring this down to the amount of voices that I'm actually using. And in this case, it's 4. I'm never playing more than 4 notes at once, so I don't need more than 4 available notes. Cool. Just a little pro tip. Great. We're looking good over here, and I want to make this oscillator a little more unique. So I'm going to go into my effects mode, and I'm going to switch this to FM, frequency modulation. I'm going to leave the tune at 0, but remember, if I go positive or negative by 50%, that's 1 octave up or down. And if I was to go up to 100%, yeah, you guessed it, that's 2 octaves up or down, positive or negative. I'm going to kind of dial the amount in until I like the way it sounds. Let's do that together. Right around there, I'm getting the bite I need, but I don't lose the body either. Okay, so I'm feeling that. It's sounding really good. Let's go ahead and add in Oscillator 2. Okay, so we're going to add in Oscillator 2. And I want, in my mind, I want a few things to happen here, okay? So what I want to happen on this guy is I want it to push into the saw wave. So I'm going to start out down here, and we're going to use an envelope to control this. Now remember, the envelope 1 is the amp envelope, and this controls how the sound is. So this is just like the overall sound that we're hearing. Envelope 2 and 3 we'll be using as control envelopes. So since I want this to kind of push up into here, this is the wavetable position, and that kind of comes up right here, Oscillator 2 position, right? So let's go ahead and add our envelope in a bit, and let's watch what it does, and then we could draw in the shape to get it to do what we want it to do, okay? Okay, so already right here we can see it's pushing past the saw really quickly. So what I want to do is go into, and I could look, check this out, I can go over here and adjust the actual picture, or I can go down here and just adjust the numbers. Either way, you know, it does the same thing. So I don't want it to go quite as high, so maybe I'm going to take the amount back so it doesn't. There we go. Maybe I want it to go a little higher than that. Perfect. It's exactly what I want to do. So now let's also go ahead and add some maybe effects mode here. Okay, so we'll go into here and maybe we'll go into classic, and I want to add a little bit of pulse width, right? So I want it to be around here, but I definitely want to make it move a bit. So I'm going to just grab LFO2 and I'm going to definitely modulate this. So here it is right here. As soon as you kind of like touch it and move it a little bit, it kind of pops up as an option down here. So let's go ahead and add LFO2 right here. Follow it down, bangarang. Awesome. And what we're going to do is quickly switch it from hertz to rate, and we'll bring it something like a super slow one, like maybe 1.5 or something like that. Okay, and let's see what's happening here and adjust it to taste. There we go. There we go. I'm feeling that. So at 53%, we've got this LFO2 kind of rolling through. Nice, and it adds a little bit of you know, motion to the top of that. So we can mix these guys back in together, and we've got our volumes here. We could do a quick mix, but we're going to be using the filter section to really shape these guys. All right, guys, so we're going to jump into the filter here, and we're going to go into split mode. And if you guys remember correctly, split mode says that oscillator 1 will be hardwired to filter 1, and same thing, oscillator 2 will be set up right there with filter 2. So they're kind of specific for each one, and this is a great way to really shape in your two layers and get a big sound. Okay, great. So let's turn off oscillator 2, and let's get a kind of wub thing happen, a rhythmic situation happening here on the oscillator 1. So here's our first filter here. Great, so that's like kind of what I want there. So I'm going to use LFO1 to kind of automate or modulate that. I'm sorry. And over here, as soon as I move it, it becomes an option down here. So here we go. Let's follow LFO1 down to filter frequency. And there we go. Let's give it a little bit of action. And we'll, before we even get started, we'll switch it from hertz to rate. And the eighth note sounds good. Let's hear what we got. Cool, I like that. I want to keep it a little bit lower to get more of a rhythmic thing. And because also I'm going to use oscillator 2 to fill in the highs. But I'm going to switch. This is one cool thing about Wavetable is we have these, you know, analog circuitry model filters that we have over on like Simpler Sampler and Auto Filter. That's kind of like, you know, Ableton's new filter thing. I'm going to use the MS2, and this is the quote-unquote Korg model. So I'm going to give some drive to it, and it's going to add a nice little saturation there. Sounds great, right? But now I'm overdriving this, so let's enjoy it together, but let's pull this back so we're not in the red. Digging it. Cool. Let's dial in our second filter. Let's turn this off for now. Turn this guy on. Okay, and let's use a low cut or high pass on this one. Pull it right on up, and let's get that dialed in. Cool, cool. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, like maybe OSR, and add a little drive. So now this one, the animation is coming from the filter being modulated, but this one we're modulating the wavetable position, so pretty cool. So let's turn this back on and kind of dial these guys in. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something. Stick to this channel because our next video is going to follow up on this one, and we're going to add on an effects rack. showing you guys how to make a pretty cool reverb rack that'll work cool on this as well as any other sound, preserving the transients and keeping that big reverb feeling. I'll see you there.